What's up, Gruntworks? What's up, Trash Talk Nation? Welcome to UFC 259 Pick'em. All right. Now, I know it says the Mad Russian on there, but I think we came up with a new nickname where it's going to be Willie Pete Pearson. All right. So that white phosphorus is coming in hot, and we got Triggered Joe.
You're welcome, Bill.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I said if Bill gets any hotter than this, I'm going to have to throw him a new handle. Something like Willie P.
Yeah, his picks have been outrageously hot right now. So just make sure you pay attention, write them down, and gamble on it. Before we get started, so Joe and I were in the same platoon together back in 2006 and 7. And March 5th, 2007, we lost 6 of our battle buddies, 6 paratroopers. And one of the guys that died, one of our battle buddies, he saved my life months before that. So it's kind of personal to me, and I know that I wouldn't be here. My kids wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Staff Sergeant Estes. And so if you go on our YouTube channel, we did a Memorial Day special last year, and I talked more about him, and we all shared some stories about some of our battle buddies. So go on there and check that Memorial Day edition out. But Chris, if you can go ahead and put Dutch's picture up there, I'm going to read the citation. We good? Is it up there, Chris? Can't read. I'm too old. All right. So Staff Sergeant Justin M. Estes, birthday December 28th, 1981, Sims, Arkansas. All right. The President of the United States of America, authorized by Act of Congress July 9th, 1918, takes pride in presenting the Silver Star posthumously to Staff Sergeant Justin M. Estes, United States Army, for gallantry in action while serving in Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 505th Parachute Infantry Regiment. I'll go to the narrative of the award. Staff Sergeant Estes distinguished himself by conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty March 5th, 2007. While serving as a squad leader in 1st Platoon, Charlie Company, 2nd Battalion, 505 Parachute Infantry Regiment during a complex IED attack in the city of Samarra, Iraq. During Operation Record Freedom 0608, Staff Sergeant Estes' platoon was tasked with conducting reconnaissance of the berm on the eastern side of the volatile city of Samarra in order to prevent the flow of insurgents forces into the city. During the patrol, the lead Humvee struck a pressure-activated IED, resulting in a catastrophic destruction of the vehicle, followed by a secondary command-detonated IED targeting the casualty evacuation team. Staff Sergeant Estes was the truck commander of the 3rd truck in the patrol. When the first IED was struck, placing him 100 meters behind the lead Humvee to provide security for the patrol, the first IED engulfed the lead Humvee in flames, leaving burning debris scattered around the detonation site. 5 paratroopers were injured in the blast, 2 of whom were thrown from the truck. While they were still alive but on fire amongst the burning debris, without hesitation and aware of the imminent danger posed not only by the flames and exploding ordnance and also the secondary IEDs going off, Staff Sergeant Estes grabbed the fire blanket and ran through the inferno, surrounding the destroyed vehicle to render medical aid. Staff Sergeant Estes feverishly attempted to save the life of Staff Sergeant Stanley, providing medical care until the platoon medic arrived. Staff Sergeant Estes then took charge of the combat lifesaver team and began moving casualties out of the wreckage in flames for treatment. Staff Sergeant Estes provided calm and decisive leadership at the detonation site, directing the continuing search for paratroopers affected by the blast, even as ammunition cooked off all around him. Having cleared the casualties from the fire, with his equipment literally melting from the intense heat, Staff Sergeant Estes remained at the side of Staff Sergeant Stanley as he called the stretcher teams forward to conduct the CASEVAC. As the teams approached, the imminent danger at which Staff Sergeant Estes had placed himself in order to save the lives of his comrades was realized. As he was engulfed in a cloud of smoke and debris as another secondary IED detonated directly underneath his feet, which had killed him instantly. In an ultimate act of bravery and selfless service to his comrades, in which he gave his own life, Staff Sergeant Estes attempted to save the lives of his comrades. And like I said, it's hard for me, guys, because he saved my life too. But by his undaunted courage, intrepid fighting spirit, and unwavering devotion to duty, Staff Sergeant Estes gallantly gave his life for his country, upholding the highest traditions of military heroism and reflecting distinct credit upon himself, Task Force 2 Panther, Task Force Lightning, United States Army. All right, so we're not going to do a moment of silence for our boys. We lost 6 others, and then the medic who got wounded died 7 days later, succumbed to his injuries. So cheers. This was Dutch's favorite drink, the Rolling
Rock.
So here's to you, Dutch. And to everybody else watching, if you're watching from 2P, our thoughts and our prayers are with you. So,
oh shit, I love you. You're a tougher guy than I am to read that.
Oh, Ooh. Tell me that. Are we live right now, Chris? Okay, yeah. So,
oh shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we can go back. Yeah, that's all right, we got the fight card back up. So again, we all deal with the deaths of our brothers and sisters differently that we've lost in combat. But here's to you guys. Here's to all the fallen and never forgotten. And cheers to the Samara 7 that we lost. But all right, let's get on to the fights, because that's what we're all here for. Just happens to fall on March 5th. UFC 259. Okay, I've become more of an avid UFC watcher, obviously, since I've been hosting the show. And a big shout out to our sponsors for making this happen. We got 10th Mountain Whiskey. All right, they even sent our sound guy that works behind the scenes. They even sent him a bottle. That's weird. We got to get Bill one. I know Bill, but so a big shout out to them, and also a big shout out to NeuroFlow. All right, NeuroFlow sponsors our Female Warrior Edition show, and also we'll give them all the props you can. If you're a senior leader watching, or you have any influence on medical treatment for veterans, if you're not and active duty, if you're not talking to NeuroFlow and getting them on your team, then you're wrong. They're already in every Air Force base. So if the Air Force is doing it, it's probably better than what we got. So make sure you get a hold of them. And then also the muscle activation technique through Ventura Training and Athletics. So go check them out as well. Okay, UFC 259. Joe says that it's the best fight card since UFC 200. And we have 3 title fights. Now, this is how it goes. All right, we're going to go through the main card, which you see up on the screen, and they'll give you how the fight's going to go. All right, who's going to win, and they're really, really good at it. So if you're a gambler, pay attention. In the last 3 weeks, they have been on fire. All right, white phosphorus hot. So bring it in hot with Bill Willie Pete. So anyways, without further ado, let's get to the fight card. All right. Now the first fight is a light heavyweight fight. No, excuse me. It's a light heavyweight fight. You're Santos versus Rakic, and the Santos at 21-8 and Rakic at 13-2. Bill, Willie Pete, seeing as you're the champ, do you want to cover this one first?
Sure. I'll take this one. This one is a little tricky for me. I typically, due to statistics, or as Joe or Nick would say, sometimes trends, I typically don't like to bet on someone to lose 3 in a row. Santos is coming off of 2 losses, but this time around, I just think Rakic is just too good for him. And I think Rakic is going to take this over into the later rounds. So I'm going to go with Rakic for the win. How he's going to finish, I think this one might go to a decision, I'm thinking. Joe?
Yeah. No, I could see that. I could see, Santos is so big and he's such a bully for 205. I think he goes the distance, but Rakic he's so athletic. When against Anthony Smith, his striking, he looked like a welterweight. So I think he dances around him, and Santos lost a lot of my faith with the Glover fight. Ain't nothing wrong with losing to Glover Teixeira.
Yes.
But unless you're one of the top 3 light heavyweights in the world, then that means you just aren't that tough. Because he had the tools to beat Glover, and he got brutalized. So I don't think you recover confidence-wise from a beating like that from a 40-year-old man. And
no.
I think he goes into this. Rakic is hot, he's cold, and it stays that way. So I like Rakic by decision. And by, just because we're going to cut this up and show everybody we were right, by brutalizing Santos's face decision. Like he's going to get lumped up real bad.
He's going to Muhammad Ali him, huh?
These are 205ers. Rakic throws a lot of punches, and he's very accurate. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop Santos. But Rakic by decision, and I'd say maybe a 10-8 round in there.
All right. So there you have it. So, Joe, when are you going to get that little button that has like the siren? So those of you who are new watching on Gruntworks and some of you new guys on Veteran Trash Talk, when these guys agree on how the fight's going to end and what round it's going to end in, they're over 90%. Okay. So they're both saying you got Rakic in a decision, and then Rakic might be a good DraftKings pick because he might dot up his face to get a lot of significant strikes. So we'll go to the next fight, which is a lightweight fight. With whatever that guy's name is, Makhachev, 18-1 versus Dober, 23-9. Dober coming in with the experience, but I gotta go with Dober because it sounds like by his name he fought a lot growing up. So, Joe, who we got in that fight?
This one, I don't blame people if they blow us off when we pick these upsets. Like Munoz last week.
Yeah, you picked two upsets last week,
like
didn't you?
like Thiago Moises last week. Marquez the week before that. These are all plus 200 upsets that we're picking. So people might think we're crazy for rolling this way because Marquez is he's a solid prospect, man. But Dober is everything Nick just said and more. Now, is Nick accidentally right? Probably. But Dober is, you talk about leather steak, like that Walmart special steak. He's that tough. He's experienced. I like the way he fights, man. He brings it. So I actually am going to go with Dober to pull off the upset. And I'm going to go ahead and say Dober breaks this guy and TKOs him in the third round.
Ooh, TKO third round. Bill, what you got in that fight?
So
you got him
I will say this. I'm going to go with Joe on Dober wins this. I think it will probably be a decision, but definitely not a parlay fight. For you guys trying to string some bets together. We are agreeing on this, so typically you want to go with that. But this is definitely one of those fights you do not throw in a parlay. We'll get to those. We'll get to the parlay fights in a couple.
Yeah, those of you who don't understand the parlays, again, you degenerate gamblers out there know what a parlay is. But for those of you who are new to this and wanting to make a couple extra $100 this weekend, all right, if you want to make a couple $1,000, all right, you bet the parlays, all right. However, you usually lose those. That's why they pay out so much. I just saw lights. Bill got pulled over. But anyways, they're going to give you, at the end of it, they're going to give you your locks. All right. They're going to give their locks. And those are the ones that you put $25, $50 on, right? Bet that one. All right. And then they're going to give you parlays, and then they're going to give you the DraftKings special. All right. That's the low money one that you might want to pick up if you're picking all the big dogs. All right. So we got Rakic by decision in the first one. Then Dober, Joe says, is going to knock him out. And then Bill says going to go all the way. Then in the third fight, bantamweight, you got Yan 15-1 versus Sterling 19-3. This is a title fight. So this is the first of the 3 title fights. And I don't even know who the champion is, so I'm not going to give my opinion on this one. So, Joe, who do you got?
Well, Peter Yan's a champion, and he
I would have guessed the Asian too. So.
I believe he took that off off Aldo when Aldo claimed it when it was vacant. Whatever it was. He hasn't really truly defended it yet, and Yan is the guy who built himself fighting in another promotion and destroying everybody. He's a great boxer, world-class boxer. Sterling is getting a lot of play in Vegas. A lot of people are liking him because he's a phenomenal grappler. And there's a lot of people that believe if he gets in on Jan, he can take him down. If he takes him down, he can grind him out. Man, this is another fight that I it honestly, every expert I've seen, because I usually laugh at these guys because they can't pick like we can, but everybody's saying split down the middle. And the ones that matter are saying this fight can go either way. But Bill and I are after watching the highlights, I think Sterling is just too powerful that he gets in on him and is able to take him down. And I think Sterling grinds him out and actually submits him.
So you're going? Is this an upset? Who's the favorite here?
Aljamain Sterling. He's actually a plus 100, so
Okay,
he's right there. So Sterling's technically the underdog. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the screen while I'm reading these odds, but yeah, I like Sterling. I like Sterling to be able to score those takedowns. And Jan's a boxer, man. He's not gonna like working off his back. So, I'll gamble on my finish, but I'll say Sterling submits him in the third round. But I got him by I definitely got Aljamain Sterling winning this fight.
Bill, what say you?
So again, I'm going to go with the upset too. I'm going with Sterling.
Oh man, back to back.
Jan's striking is phenomenal, but I'm going to call it Sterling's going to win with a rear naked choke on Jan late third round.
Yeah, if they get in the phone booth, Sterling is bigger. He is, and he's definitely a stronger grappler. So that choke, if he sinks it in, I don't see Jan knowing what to do.
No, not at all.
Well, I am going to give the bettors some warning here. All right. Because when these guys, I know they've been hot, but I'm going to play devil's advocate. When they start talking about a champ or a guy who's been washed up and kind of old, every now and then those guys just drop the dude they're fighting because of all their experience in striking. So I'd be careful on this one, but I'm not the expert, so do not listen to me.
Plus, Jan's not an old man at all. He's like
exactly. It doesn't really fit. It's not a stat, as Bill would say, or even a trend. But when they start dogging a guy who's won a lot, careful. But anyways, they're the experts, not me. So we'll go to the next fight. This one looks exciting. You got Nunes 20-4 versus Anderson 11-4. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, which I probably am. But this seems like the division, is a featherweight. This seems like the division that is just nasty for women in the UFC, where it's the best fighters have 4 or 5 losses.
It's the light heavyweights of the male.
So I am right. Okay. So I have been paying a little bit of attention to you guys. So I'm starting to pick up on it. So Bill, who do you got in the Nunes Anderson fight?
This is easy, Nunes. But here's the thing. Anderson has hands. She has hurt women before. But if you watch Nunes, when she comes into a fight, walking down the aisle, when she gets in the ring, she's like a caged animal. And Anderson's already said she wants to throw hands. And Nunes is going with the old Mike Tyson line. Hey, everyone has a plan until I punch him in the face.
Yep.
So I think Anderson's going to get in there. She's going to want to throw hands. She's going to feel the same strikes that Cyborg felt. Everybody thought Cyborg was indestructible. And Nunes ended her. Nunes is almost slept every fighter she's gone against, except for Valentina. So for sure, it might go 2 rounds, but it's going to be Nunes TKO without a doubt.
Yeah.
Nunes TKO. What round, Bill? How many rounds?
You know what? I'm going to go. Anderson's got some length. She'll use that to her advantage. I'm going to go late second, early third.
Okay. And these last 3 fights, so their title fights will be 5 rounds, correct?
Yes.
So you look at those over-unders too. I'm sure you guys will hit that in your locks. Joe, you agree with that? You got Nunes knocking her out first 3 rounds?
Yes. I have Nunes and her brawling. And the a lot of money is going on this going +1.5. If you have a bookie that will take that action, or a sports book that will take that action, go with it, because I think Anderson's length and youth and size saves her for a bit. I don't think she's going to be as stupid as Cyborg was. And let's face it, Cyborg is stupid for brawling with her. I think this girl knows it's her shot. So she's going to use her length and everything else. But, all Nunez she's just sizing you up.
She's
it's
an animal.
It's like that description they gave about the Velociraptor in Jurassic Park. She, like, when she walks in there, you can tell she's like, I'm going to destroy you this way. And she's like, even during the fight, if you watch, she's almost grinning. So Nunez is going to walk her down. This girl's going to try and throw hands with her, and Nunez is going to get inside, and she's going to piece her up. And I think she's going to TKO late second round. I'm even calling the minutes now. Vegas, what's up?
Nice. By the minutes. That is awesome. All right. So that sounds like it's a lock for both of you, but we'll get into those in a few seconds here. And then the fight that I'm excited for, because one of my favorite fighters, now that I've started watching the Underwear Fighting Championship more, is Adesanya at 20-0 versus Blachowicz at 27-8. Now,
I'm excited too for that one.
I have seen Adesanya go ravage people, and I've also saw him lay back and just dot people up technically. So it almost reminds me of a Mike Tyson and then a Floyd Mayweather, to where it's like, oh, if you want to play this game, I'll sit back and just kick your leg until you can't walk anymore. That's fine. If you want to fight, I'll fight you. So, Joe, who do we got in the main fight championship?
It's going to be a few years before you see me bet against Adesanya. So definitely I got the last style bender. And I think that I heard somebody say, Adesanya's, he's kickboxed at heavyweight just for fun. So, and done very well in K1. So he's not, that size thing, throw that out the window. Forget about it. Because Costa was a giant. And so he did exactly what Nick said he's going to do. He's going to kick your front leg off of your body. You're not going to be able to plant off that leg and throw your power hand. And then he's going to set a trap and he's going to put your lights out. So that's exactly what I have happening here. I think he's smart enough not to let Blachowicz get at range and throw one of his bombs. Now, Blachowicz connects. He's definitely going to be Adesanya is going to have a problem eating that leather because nobody has yet. But I don't think Adesanya even gets touched like that. I think he might catch some grazing shots because he's very good at parrying punches, which Muhammad Ali was a genius at. Looked like the guy was hitting him, and all the guy was doing was getting tired. So I think he sets a trap after he kicks his calf off of his body and into the upper deck. Third round knockout. Like this kind of knockout right
this
here.
This is why Joe was not here last week, and I had to pick up the slack for the expertise.
Yeah,
but the little boy is there. He's healthy. He's doing well. That's awesome.
Milk drunk.
Yeah, you ready to go to sleep? All right. Remember, don't shake the baby, Joe. All right, give it back to mama. Don't shake the baby. All right.
Next time I have to shake the baby.
Hey, Bill, so what do we got in the title fight?
Again, let off the sirens. Third round, TKO. Adesanya is the winner, holds the second belt. I was telling you, Nick, before the show, Adesanya, for all these longtime MMA fans, it's almost like they took Anderson Silva in his prime and mixed him with Lyoto Machida in his prime. He just comes out with really odd angles. He's a classic counter striker. And, for a while they said he hasn't fought in a bully. His last fight, they threw a bully at him, and he teed that dude up. Yeah. I mean, mark my words, he's going to go down close to the same record as Khabib. He's going to go down as another GOAT for sure, if not better, because now he's doing it in 2 weight classes. I think it's going to 2 rounds. Blachowicz is going to try to, throw those bombs. I think he's going to tire out. And as Bisping said, UFC is slowly turning into the ultimate calf kicking competition. And I think Adesanya's going to do just that. He's going to lay down those calf kicks, take away that power behind him, and then tee him up in the third round.
That kick is so damaging that it takes a very tough individual to even stand on the foot of the calf being kicked without making a face. That's why Costa sat there the whole time and said, yeah, bring it on, bro. And kept doing that with Adesanya. And Adesanya said he was doing that so he didn't have to whimper. Because when I was kicking him, he had to act like it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you're hurt and you're like, like it was he was faking it because he was wincing. He was getting kicked so hard. So, Blachowicz is a great fighter. I'm a huge fan of his. I like watching him fight. This kid he's fighting is a horrible matchup for him though. Just a horrible matchup. He's gonna blast that front leg, and once you do that, you have no power hand because you're off your back foot the whole time. So, one day you're gonna be like, yeah, remember when Adesanya fought? Like in the same breath as Silva, Liddell, Couture. Like that's the kind of greatness this kid is. He's like I said, I won't bet against him for probably a few.
Yeah,
at
I
least
think
5 years.
the last Adesanya fights when you hit that 9-teamer, right? The 9-fight parlay, that was crazy. So that's a good segue into who are your locks, who are your parlays, and who's your DraftKings sleeper. So what or FanDuel, because DraftKings was in contact with me to sponsor us and they dropped off. So now I'm going to throw FanDuel in the mix. Maybe they'll get a hold of us. But anyways, because we're better than Vegas. All right. These guys are better than Vegas. If you want to listen to sports betting advice for UFC, these are the two guys. All right. So Bill, give me your locks, give me your parlays, and give me your DraftKings sleeper.
Tell you what, my locks are definitely Nunes, Adesanya. You can put that in your parlay as well. And there's a dude on the prelims, Askarov. He's going to be going against Benavidez. Benavidez is coming off of 2 losses to Figueiredo. Askarov is on a tear. He doesn't even have a loss. He's got a draw against Moreno. I think Askarov's going to go in and tee him up too. So if I'm going to do a 3-fight parlay, I'm going to do Adesanya, Nunes, Askarov. For my sleeper, I'm actually going to go with, this is a tough one. Joe might highly disagree with me. I'm going to go with Dominic Cruz. Now, don't get me wrong. Guys, this is going to be another one of those fights you need to take so you can get Ambien to sleep. It's going to be a horrible fight.
Right. But
Dominic Cruz is going to pull it off. So that'll be your little sleeper that you're throwing in your DraftKings line.
Yeah. So people who don't understand DraftKings are like FanDuel is, you got a salary cap. So if you pick like 3 or 4 locks to win, you're going to have to pick somebody who's only cost $7,000 in the salary cap. And, but you're looking, right, Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're looking for somebody that's at least going to make it 3 rounds, right? To at least get you some points and then maybe even win. Right. So that's the guy you're looking for. Okay, we got Bill's locks, his parlays, and then his DraftKings sleeper, FanDuel sleeper as well for DraftKings that's paying attention. Anyways, Joe, who do we got?
My sleeper is Dober. Okay, because I just, unless this Makaev is some kind of superhuman, he ain't coming in there and finishing them. And that's what you're looking for. And Dober's cheap on DraftKings, real cheap. He's definitely the best guy at the bottom of the list price wise you're going to get, in my mind. No questions asked. Some of my locks, man, I got a few in the early prelims that I like. This Carlos Oberg, he's fighting, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that guy's name, but he's a light heavyweight. And Adesanya basically said that, this guy trains out of his gym. He said, no one even wants to hold pads for him. He's breaking people's hands. Like he's breaking bones.
Like when I separated your shoulder, that kind of thing.
If you want to play out your own narrative, but no, but so I like this Carlos Oberg in the early prelims. It's a light heavyweight bout over Kennedy. I don't even know how to say that last name, but Njoku. That's what it looks like.
Njoku sounds right.
Okay, we're gonna roll with it. And then I like Askarov over Benavidez. I also like Kyler Phillips to win over that Song Yadong. It's right before the yes, this guy's name is Song Yadong. I like Kyler
I'll give you
Phillips
that one as well.
I like Kyler Phillips to win in that prelim. But locks go Adesanya, Nunez. And then I like, oh, dude, I skipped right past one of my locks. Olberg is one of my locks. All right.
I'm taking the early card. Olberg in the early card.
And then Sean Brady over Jake Matthews. I love that fight. So those are my locks.
We got 4 locks. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Brady, Olberg, Adesanya, Nunez. Now, a couple of those pay off better than the other ones, but parlay them, see what happens. But just so we got it on record, I'm going to run down the main card. I got Rakic, Dober, Sterling, Nunez, Adesanya.
All right, nice. So again, Gruntworks, Trash Talk Nation. I think I shared it to the Gruntworks screwed me up and gave me admin rights to their page. So I think I shared the live on to other straight shooters or whatever. So thanks for watching, guys, as well. Anyways, another shout out to our sponsors, Ventura Training and Athletics, NeuroFlow. Check them out. Active duty, retired, doesn't matter. Get on NeuroFlow, get the apps, get your PTSD squared away. We all got it. All right. We all got TBIs, and it helps. All right. So talking about it, doing all that kind of stuff. So make sure you're taking care of your body, taking care of yourself. And again, March 5th. All right. We lost some of our battle buddies. Man, a long time ago, 14 years ago.
14 years, man.
And I'm gonna go cook some steaks. I got some ribeyes. I'm going to fire those bad boys up. I'm going to drink some Rolling Rocks for Dutch. I already drank my Dr. Pepper for Perkins, and maybe watch some poker for Costers and all that kind of stuff. So, again, these days are tough, but when I was younger, I handled those days, I would say, incorrectly. But now I try to enjoy my life the most I can on these days where like I said, cook a good steak, drink some beer, and love my family. So thanks you all for watching. And what did Tanner Port say? I didn't see it.
Is it about whether I want to fist fight his face? The answer is yes.
What do you say, Tanner Port? So Jan expects to be at 220 tomorrow. That's what Tanner Port's saying.
Okay. What's his question?
Yeah,
I
what's
talked
his
to him
question?
earlier, actually. He thinks because Jan's coming in so heavy, if he gets his hands on Adesanya. My argument to that is he's got to get his hands on Adesanya first. I think he's going to get teed up on that front leg.
Is this a fister on fister quarrel?
It's actually
too elusive.
Tanner, what you don't understand is that Blachowicz's size is a disadvantage.
He's going to tire out.
You'll see.
Yep.
He's gonna feel like he's surrounded when he's getting teed up. He's not gonna be fast enough.
Chris, good catch on that question. We obviously don't really care what Tanner thinks. We've been living rent free in his head for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He was living rent free in our head for about a month. But the guys have been so hot picking that he really doesn't have anything to say anymore. But I'll give him his credit. He was in our heads for a little bit, and it is what it is. Everybody gets triggered. It's just if you become a pansy or not. That's in the Book of Earl, I think, chapter 4, page 10. So if you look it up, everybody gets triggered. Just don't be a pansy about it. So again, shout out to the sponsors, NeuroFlow, Ventura Training Athletics, and 10th Mountain Whiskey back there. Make sure you put in that VTT code, get your discount. And other than that, actually, before we go, I do want to just remind everybody again who's watching that I am undefeated against Joe in combatives, and I put him down. I put him on the ground hard, and he whispered into my ear. It was the sweetest thing I've ever heard. He's like, "Hey, just don't make me look bad. My shoulder's out." And I was like, "I'm like, oh, I know it's out, all right." And so it was nice. It was comforting. But anyways, we had a good.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, combatives coach. It's literally what you said to me. I'm not even lying. I sometimes I only need 10% truth, but that's it. Anyways, Gruntworks, the straight shooters, and then obviously our VTT fam. Make sure you check us out tomorrow. We got Robert Burgos coming on with his kid, and they started a clothing company. And so we're going to promote them because it's veteran-owned business, and that's what we do. And we're going to have a good time Saturday. We will not be live So we'll have to put out the recording afterwards. So we'll put out the recording and then get after it. So again, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Make sure you replay this. I'll share the YouTube video because we're going to delete it. So you have to watch our YouTube, because if you didn't come on live, you're going to watch the YouTube. And I'll put that up there and I'll share it, all that kind of great stuff. So enjoy your Fridays, and love you guys.
All right, brother.